She looks you in the eyes and tells you a number, 3, maybe 5. She says it with confidence, maybe even a little vulnerability. I'm not like other girls. I've only been with guys I loved. And something in your gut whispers that the math isn't mathing. Not because you're insecure, not because you're controlling, but because her story has more holes than details, more emotion than facts, and more defensiveness than honesty. Here's what nobody wants to tell you. The past isn't the problem. The cover story is. And if her version of history changes based on who's asking, you're not getting the truth. You're getting the sales pitch. Alpha lens mindset here. Let's break it down. Before we go any further, let me be absolutely clear about something. This isn't about shaming women for having a past. Everyone has a past. This isn't about demanding virginity or purity. That's not realistic, and it's not the point. This is about deception. This is about the strategic rewriting of history to manipulate your perception and secure your commitment. This is about women who present themselves as one thing while their actual history tells a completely different story. And when you discover the gap between what she told you and what actually happened, you're not just dealing with a lie. You're dealing with someone who calculated exactly what you needed to hear to lock you in. The past isn't a deal breaker. Deception is. Because here's the truth. Men can accept a lot. We can accept that she had a wild phase. We can accept that she made mistakes. We can accept that her number is higher than ours. What we can't accept is being played for a fool. What we can't accept is finding out 6 months, a year, 2 years into a relationship that the woman we thought we knew was a carefully constructed fiction. Let's start with the most common lie in masculine circles, the body count. She tells you 3, maybe 5 if she's feeling honest. She delivers it with just the right amount of hesitation, like it's a little embarrassing to even have that many. Like she's worried you'll judge her. Meanwhile, the real number is somewhere between 15 and 40, maybe higher. But you'll never know that because she's done the calculation. She knows that 3 sounds low enough to be wife material, but high enough to not seem unrealistic. 5 if you seem more progressive. 7 if you're pushing for honesty. Here's the psychology. Society has created a brutal double standard. Men with high numbers are studs. Women with high numbers are damaged goods. She knows this. She's internalized it. So when she meets a man she actually wants to keep, she minimizes the number to fit what she thinks you want to hear. The problem isn't that she had 20 partners. The problem is that she's willing to lie about it because she doesn't trust that you can handle the truth. Or worse, she knows you can't, so she's giving you a version of herself that doesn't exist to get what she wants from you. The red flag: selective amnesia. I don't really remember exactly, or the number that never changes. She told you 3 when you were dating, 3 when you got engaged, 3 when you got married. And somehow in her entire adult life after that conversation, the number stayed exactly 3. The math isn't mathing. All my exes were crazy. He was abusive. They were all toxic. Nobody treated me right until you. Listen to what she's telling you. In her entire dating history, every single man she chose was terrible. Every relationship ended because the man was broken, crazy, abusive, or toxic. She has zero accountability for any of it. She's the perpetual victim, they're the perpetual villains. Here's the psychology. By painting every ex as a monster, she accomplishes 2 things. First, she erases her own role in those failed relationships. She doesn't have to examine her patterns, her choices, her contributions to the dysfunction. Second, she positions herself as a damsel in distress for you to rescue. You get to be the hero who finally treats her right. You get to be the exception. The problem: if every single person in her past was terrible, she's either the unluckiest woman on earth or she's the common denominator. And you're about to find out which one it is when you become the next crazy ex she tells the next guy about. The red flag is simple: zero accountability. Not a single good guy I just wasn't compatible with. Not a single we wanted different things. Not a single admission that maybe, just maybe, she played a role in any of these relationships failing. If her entire romantic history is everyone else's fault, run. I've never done that before. I've never felt this way about anyone. You're the first person who ever made me feel like this. She's creating a blank slate. She wants you to feel like a pioneer, like you're discovering parts of her that no one else has touched. She wants you to believe that with you, it's different, special, unique. Here's the psychology. This is the ego boost strategy. By positioning you as her first in various ways, she makes you feel exceptional. You're not just another guy. You're the guy who unlocked something in her that no one else could. It creates a bond. It creates investment. It makes you feel like you're building something that's never existed before. The problem? High technical proficiency in things she claims to have never tried. She knows exactly what she's doing in bed, exactly how to navigate situations, exactly how to play the game. But she's telling you she's never done this before because she knows it makes you feel special. The red flag. Watch the contradiction between her words and her actions. If she's claiming virginity in certain acts but performing them like a professional, someone taught her, and it wasn't you. He was just a platonic friend. Meanwhile, they dated for 8 months, or they hooked up regularly, or there's an unresolved emotional connection that she's downplaying because she knows it bothers you. Here's the psychology. She wants to maintain access to her support system without dealing with the friction it causes in your relationship. That ex provides something: validation, attention, emotional support, backup option, and she's not willing to give it up. But she also knows that "I'm still close with my ex" makes you uncomfortable. So she rewrites history. He was just a friend. It was never serious. We barely dated. The problem? She's keeping one foot in her past while telling you she's fully invested in her future with you. And when you raise concerns, she makes you feel insecure, jealous, or controlling for even noticing. The red flag. Defensive behavior when his name comes up. Emergency texts from him at odd hours. An inability to establish clear boundaries because you're just being insecure. If she's protecting his access to her more than she's protecting your peace of mind, you're not the priority. I've been single for a year. The truth? Her last relationship ended 3 weeks ago. She's still processing, still healing, still emotionally entangled. But she knows that "I just got out of a relationship" makes her look unstable, like a rebound risk. So she stretches the timeline. Here's the psychology. She wants to appear emotionally available and healed. She doesn't want you thinking she's using you to get over someone else, so she manufactures distance that doesn't exist. A 3-week breakup becomes a few months. 6 months becomes over a year. The problem? You're entering a relationship with someone who hasn't processed her last one. You're getting the emotional spillover, the unresolved feelings, the comparisons, but you don't know it because she told you she was ready. The red flag. Recent photos of her ex still on social media, talking about him with intense emotion, even if it's anger. Emotion that fresh isn't healed, it's redirected. She presents herself as conservative, low-key, traditional, but her actual past was significantly more adventurous. Wild parties, casual hookups, experimentation, things she did with other men that she now claims she would never do. Here's the psychology. She's rebranding. She sees you as a high-value man, a provider, someone she wants to lock down long-term. So she suppresses her past self and presents a version she thinks you'll find more acceptable. The stable, virtuous partner routine. The problem? You're not getting the real her. You're getting the performance. And eventually, one of 3 things happens. She resents you for being the boring guy she had to tone herself down for. You find out the truth and feel deceived, or she cheats with someone who reminds her of who she used to be. The red flag. A past that doesn't match the present. If her friends from college tell stories that contradict the image she's selling you, pay attention. If her social media from 5 years ago shows a completely different person, pay attention. People grow and change, but radical rebranding is usually strategy, not growth. Let me translate some common phrases for you. I'm not usually like this. Translation: I am very comfortable with this, but I don't want you to judge me for it. We only dated for a month. Translation: it was an intense situationship that ended badly, and I'm minimizing it. He was obsessed with me. Translation: we had a toxic back and forth dynamic that I haven't fully processed. I don't really have a type. Translation: my type has historically been terrible for me, so I'm trying something different with you. I've only been with guys I loved. Translation: I redefine what love means retroactively based on who I'm talking to. These aren't always lies. Sometimes they're self-deception. Sometimes she genuinely believes her own revised history. But the effect is the same. You're making decisions about your future based on information that isn't accurate. Here's the uncomfortable truth about body counts in 2025, particularly in big cities, particularly among women who've been on dating apps. The average is significantly higher than what most men think. Low body count in modern dating, 3 to 9. Average modern woman, 12 to 25. I had a phase woman, 30 to 70. The outliers, 40 to 150 plus. I'm not saying this to shame anyone. I'm saying this so you understand the landscape. When she tells you 3 and you're in a major city and she's been single and on apps for 5 years, the math doesn't add up. That doesn't make her a bad person. But it does mean she's not being honest with you. And here's the pattern that shows up again and again. The more insistently and emotionally she defends a very low number, the wider the gap tends to be in real life. It's overcompensation. It's protesting too much. Women who are genuinely at a low number tend to state it casually and move on. Women who are managing your perception tend to get defensive, emotional, and accusatory when you press for details. Let's expand on a few more common deceptions. I'm healed. She says she's done therapy, she's processed her trauma, she's ready for a healthy relationship. But unprocessed trauma doesn't announce itself. It shows up as control, as tests, as mood swings, as jealousy, as sabotage. She's telling you she's healed because she wants to be healed. But wanting it and being it are not the same thing. I don't need anything from a man. This is the independence flex. She's financially stable, emotionally self-sufficient, totally complete on her own. Except what she really means is, I don't need love or emotional vulnerability, but I absolutely need provision, status, security, and the social credibility that comes with having a high-value partner. I'm not talking to anyone. Meanwhile, she's got 3 guys texting her regularly. But in her mind, talking means something serious. These are just friends, except they're friends who would date her if she said yes. They're backup plans, they're options she's keeping warm. But she's claiming loyalty because technically she's not in a relationship with them. You're not a detective. You're not an interrogator. Your job isn't to grill her about every detail of her past, but your job is to verify through consistency. Watch for contradictions. If the story changes based on who's in the room or what she thinks you can handle, she's editing in real time. Watch for vague timelines. A while ago. Not that long. I don't really remember. Vagueness is usually strategic. Clear answers come from clear memories. Watch for intense victim framing. If every story positions her as the victim and everyone else as the villain, she's erasing accountability. Watch for the all my exes pattern. If they were all crazy, all toxic, all abusive, she's either catastrophically unlucky or she's the common denominator. And most importantly, watch behavior, not words. She can tell you she's over her ex, but if she's still checking his social media, still texting him, still bringing him up in conversations, her behavior is telling you the truth. Her words are hiding. Here's your framework. First, don't ask questions you're not prepared to hear the answers to. If you can't handle the truth about her past, don't ask. Because once you know, you can't unknow. And if you're going to punish her for honesty, she'll just lie better next time. Second, create a safe space for honesty. If you want the truth, you have to be the kind of man who can handle the truth without judgment, without weaponizing it later, without making her regret being vulnerable. Most women lie because they've been punished for telling the truth. Be different. Third, pay more attention to her present than her past. Who is she now? How does she treat you now? What does she contribute now? The past informs the present, but it doesn't dictate it. If she's genuinely grown, genuinely changed, genuinely different from who she was 5 years ago, that matters more than the number. Fourth, accept that you're probably getting an approximation, not the exact truth, and decide if you're okay with that. Some men need exact numbers. Some men genuinely don't care. Some men want a general idea but don't need a full audit. Know which one you are and act accordingly. And finally, trust your gut. If something feels off, if the story doesn't make sense, if her defensiveness is disproportionate to the question, your instincts are telling you something. Don't ignore them just because you want the relationship to work. Not all women lie about their past. Not every inconsistency is deception. Sometimes memory is genuinely fuzzy. Sometimes details get compressed over time. Sometimes she's protecting herself from judgment she's experienced before, but the pattern is common enough that you need to be aware of it. The pattern is real enough that ignoring it makes you vulnerable. And the consequences of building a relationship on a foundation of strategic omissions are severe enough that you need to take this seriously. Your job isn't to become paranoid. Your job isn't to interrogate every woman you date like she's a suspect. Your job is to verify through consistency, to watch behavior more than words, to create space for honesty while maintaining boundaries around deception. The past isn't the deal breaker. Deception is. A woman who owns her past, who's honest about her journey, who doesn't try to manage your perception with carefully edited stories. That's a woman you can build with. A woman who's rewriting history to secure your commitment. That's a woman who'll rewrite your present to justify her future. Choose wisely. If this video just showed you the patterns you've been ignoring, drop "verify through consistency" in the comments below. Share your experiences. Have you caught inconsistencies in her story? How did you handle it? What happened when you pressed for the truth? And if you need help navigating these dynamics, learning how to vet effectively, or building relationships based on honesty instead of performance, I offer private coaching sessions. Link is pinned in the comments and in the description. Alpha Lens Mindset here. Thank you for watching. Stay sharp.